Well, welcome to this week's Fire Five. We're joined with Pastor Dean. It's a massive get, a huge guest. How you going, Dean? It's good to have you.
Yeah, going good. This feels like a big get for me. I can't believe I got invited on Fire Five, so I'm pretty excited.
Well, you're in some pretty high company, Pastor Phil and Tegan, our first two episodes. So, you know, it's a big ask. But it is.
I don't know if I want to be trying to follow that, but I'll do my best.
No, it is great to have you, Dean, and we're excited to hear what you're going to share. One thing I want to ask, and it's actually something I sort of caught you talking about on the Instagram Live last week, is about accidental friendships. I think it's an interesting thing and concept during this time. Can you share a little bit around that, how there isn't accidental friendships and how kind of friendships look a little bit different now?
Yeah, I think obviously this is just such a different dynamic on how everything's working right now. But I think I was just saying, you just don't accidentally have friends right now. There's obviously a lot of conversation right now around how do we stay connected. And I know, especially, I can imagine if I was a teenager right now and, when your friends, like, I know for me, in that season of life, like, friends are everything. But right now, you don't have all the things that normally put in place. Like, normally if you're going to school, if you got mates at school, you're going to see them every day, no matter what. You wouldn't even need to plan on it. If Friday nights, youth happening, I'm going to be there. I'm going to see my crew. And so a lot of stuff just will happen. There's all these ways you'll bump into friends, see friends here and there. But I think right now there's no accidental kind of friendship. And I think it's just a really important thing to realize, okay, we all need friendship and we all need connection. And right now, more than ever, you have to be really intentional. You got to make like a significant effort if you want to, just keep investing into and having good friendships through this season.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And, I've noticed, you don't bump into someone at the shops, you don't bump into someone at youth, at church, and you can't have all those moments. So, you just got to be intentional, don't you? You just got to be intentional.
Yeah.
When you think of someone, you shoot them a message. When you yourself, you're feeling a bit lonely, you just got to reach out and just say, hey, let's catch up, let's Zoom. Because
I think that's a big thing. And I'd really, I just encourage people like and I know we're thinking a little bit about it, but really make that effort. Like when someone pops in your head, I probably sent 3 messages yesterday of just people who popped in my head and I thought, I haven't heard from them. Like I haven't seen them. And some of those are good friends, but just like life's been so wild that it's like, time goes by. So I just really encourage everybody, like, hey, when you think of somebody, don't think, hey, why haven't they reached out to me? Or, hey, why haven't they, sent a message my way? Instead, think, how can I, reach out to them? So to shoot people messages and just say, how you going? Or say, hey, you know what, could we Zoom? Like, I know we'd normally see each other here, but let's do a Zoom or a FaceTime or whatever that is. That's a really big one. So I think just, and I just encourage people as well, because it's easy sometimes when we're isolated to feel like nobody's thinking about me or why isn't anyone reaching out to me? But all of us can feel like that sometimes. But the absolute best way to have friends is to be a good friend and to be that person who's going, I'm going to check on you. I'm thinking about you. And the more you do that, the more you'll find, that kind of gets the whole, kind of the friendship circle going. And that's what starts bringing good connection into your life. The more you're thinking outward, the more you'll find, friendship coming your way.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. And so we started the Essential series on Sunday. It's great to be in that kind of now. And I think it's quite timely, which is great. Can you share a little bit on that and maybe even some of the things that God's kind of speaking to you during this time? That'd be helpful.
Yeah, I'd love to. The whole idea of the Essential series it's funny because we were going to do this series before the COVID-19 hit. And the week we were going to start it was the week all the COVID-19 hit stuff. But I guess because I just felt God speaking to me a lot about and felt this is really something we need to be thinking about is actually what's essential in my life. Because all our lives can get so full, so cluttered. It's kind of like your closet. It's like if you don't clean out your closet once in a while, like you've got clothes in there, they're too old, they don't fit, they're out of style. At some point you actually have to go, wait a second, what's essential? Because all the stuff that doesn't even fit anymore, or you don't even really care about it, but yet it's cluttering up your life and keeping you from actually, you know, some of the good stuff you got in your closet. So it's like that with life.
Yeah.
We can end up missing out on the things that actually matter to us because there's so much other clutter. But I love that in this season, it's like we've had to strip life back a bit to the essentials. You can only go essential places. You can only buy essential things. You can only, so we've all been forced to kind of strip our lives back a little bit. A lot of stuff's been taken out of the closet, it's been taken out of life right now. And I think, but the really cool thing about that is it gives you space to go, what matters to me? And what do I want my life to look like? Like, actually, maybe I don't want to put everything back in the closet. Maybe some of the things that were taking my time, I don't want to let them take my time. And so I think right now is like one of, you know, there's an ideal moment to be thinking about how can you come out of this season with your life better than it ever has been before. I read an article the other night. It was on a news site, and it was about teenagers in the U.S. and going how difficult this is on them, and what will be kind of the long term, like how's this going to affect people in the long term, like living through this. And so there's lots of people are looking at it going, oh, there'll be these difficult effects. Now, there will be challenges for sure and difficulties, but if you choose a perspective to go, you know what, how in this season can I create space for what matters most? And I think there's a real opportunity to come out going, actually, I feel better. I feel stronger. I feel more resilient. I've got better connections with close friends because I've been intentional. There's so much that can happen differently. And in particular, and that's why we're looking at this church, I think it is a great space, you know, to think about and envision your life, not just on your own, but actually in prayer, like talking to God about it. There's so much space, you know, there's so much that could clutter your time even now. It'd be real easy to get kind of caught up and, well, I'm bored, and so I'm going to watch Netflix or watch endless YouTube videos or endless anything. And there's nothing wrong with obviously having a little fun and entertainment, but the whole idea of essential is how do you not get caught up on all that, have it in its right place. But the essential thing is, how are you connecting with God? How are you stepping into, you know, more of kind of like what God might want to do in your life in this season? So there's an opportunity where, you know, it could be a little bit more space to hear from God, I think, than you know, certainly what it might have been a month ago or 8 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah, so good. I love that idea of just coming out of this on stronger. You know, it's something that probably everyone's expecting to be like, oh, it's just the worst time, and you know, I can't wait till things go back to normal. But actually using this time for stretching and for growing, I think that's really important. Well, thanks, Dean. We'll maybe end it there. It's only 5 minutes. I wish it could be a little bit longer, but thanks for two great things, awesome points, and I think they'll be really helpful for us. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. Good to see everybody.